Today is June 24th, 2012.
Yeah.
And we are interviewing Mr. Donald Green at Quincy, Illinois. Mr. Green was born September 15th, 1921. My name is Cheryl Walker, and I'll be interviewing you, Mr. Green. For the record, can you tell us what war and branch of service you were born
I was in the Navy. World War II.
Okay, and what was your rank?
Carpenter's mate, second class. That's what I got to. I went in there as an apprentice seaman. But through the almost 4 years, why I got the carpenter's mate, second class. You know, my deal is a little different to try and explain. We were headed to invade Sicily, but we didn't know, of course, everything was marked NAW, North African Waters. That's what we found out. Well, while we were going along over there, our LST pulled out of the convoy, went over and docked. Number one boat crew, get your gear and let your boat down. You're going to work with the Army. That was me and 3 other guys. Okay, so we didn't make that invasion, but that's where we were headed. So we worked with the Army, and there was a handful of Seabees there. So we just kind of joined them. We didn't get no mail, we didn't get no money, we didn't get nothing for a long time. Finally, I went to the officer and I asked him, I said, we don't even have money to buy cigarettes. Well, he said, I'll loan you $20, but understand I want it back. I said, well, if we get paid, you get it back. About 3 months down the road, we got 17 letters one day and 16 the next. My mother wrote to the commanding officer at Atlantic Fleet and wanted to know why I wasn't getting any mail, I guess. So they finally chased it down. And well, we kept on moving up the coast. This was a little town in the Moors. We moved up to Benisaft, and we went on up to how things disappear. Tunisia, went up to Tunisia, and that town, Bizerti, that's what it was. It was just blew all to pieces. But there's where we set up a carpenter shop on an LSD that had been bombed, and had the back end blowed off of it, and we put a carpenter shop on top of it. On the deck, you know, and then we worked on subchasers and YMSs. They was all wood, and every time they come in, they'd have something wrong, you know, so we'd fix it. Worked on small boats. That's basically what we did. But that's the only time when we moved up from Benisaft to Bizerti. We joined a convoy going up there, and the ship ahead of us got blowed up. We had no idea what happened. We thought we got blowed up because the thing felt like it came out of the water. Well, we got up on top side, but it was a Liberty ship. We never did find anybody or nothing. We were supposed to circle it and pick up any survivors. There wasn't any. But that's kind of the way my time overseas was. I mean, I don't know what, it was in, March. We got to come home. It wasn't March, it's February, I think it was. But we got married in March. Oh, then I got discharged about 1st of October, 45. Went in 42. So I like 4 months having 4 years.
Did you go into the National Guard or the Reserves afterwards?
No. Well, my wife, see, I was married then. She said, you ain't going into nothing. Well, I thought, well, I'd get pension, you know. And then here come Korean War along. She said, now, see, where would you have been? Over in Korea. So she knew what she's talking about anyway.
Were you awarded any medals?
Not that I know of.
How did you keep in touch with your family?
Email or that? Well, it was that regular. We had that paper, that we wrote on. You had to be careful what you said on it. You couldn't tell where he was at or a bunch of stuff. But that's how I kept in touch with him.
Was the food pretty good?
If you like sea rations, when we first got over there, that's all they had. Canned beans, canned stew, and that was for breakfast and dinner and supper. And then we had, well, it was supposed to be, I guess, some type of lemonade. We called it battery acid. But that's what. And then after we got moved up a ways where we had a cook, well, then it was pretty good. Got up to Bizerti. We had a cook up there, and he was all right. We got good food.
Do you like beans and stew now?
I don't want any more. Not any more than. Not what I had, anyway. There is some I like, but I like chili, but this wasn't chili we had.
Were there any entertainers that came over?
Yeah. When we were up at Bizerti, we used to have, we had an airplane hangar there, and we'd go over there, and when people come over to entertain, we had all kinds of real good entertainment.
Do you remember any?
Only thing I can remember is guys singing White Christmas, and people, guys that had kids at home, they all got up and left. They couldn't handle it.
Did you travel on leave during the service when you were over there?
No, the only time I got a broken ankle in over Little Creek, Virginia. We was happened to do all kind of calisthenics. We had to run up a pole and drop off the end of it, about 6 or 7 feet. I broke my ankle. Well, they didn't X-ray it; they just wrapped it up, and then probably it was about 3 weeks later we shipped out. Well, I couldn't hardly walk, and so when we got over in the Moors, I asked the corpsman over there, I said, is there any place you get an ankle x-rayed around here? He said, yeah, I can send you up to Army Hospital. I can't tell you where that was at now, but went up there and he said, yeah, you got a fracture, all right, but it looked like it healed pretty good. So it didn't bother me much for quite a while until these last couple of years. Now it bothers me. And but they won't, they don't even have a record of it, that anything happened to it. So what are you going to do?
Where were you when you were discharged?
Great Lakes? Oh, you mean Staten Island? And I went to Great Lakes.
Do you remember that day?
Well, I think it was October the 1st that I got discharged. Within a day or two of that, and I might have left for Great Lakes before that. But
did you use the GI Bill?
Do what?
Did you use the GI Bill?
Yeah, I did. I was trying to be a pattern maker, and I worked for a pattern shop. And then I found out all they was making was stove patterns. I wasn't interested in stove patterns, but there I am, see. So I worked 2.5 years as a pattern maker. And then they pulled it up, and there wasn't no place else you could get in. All apprentice places were filled up. So then I got a job down at Gardner's, worked down there, and later on I done my own building. I built houses and sold them. So I used my carpenter experience.
Did your military experience influence your life? Your thinking about military?
About what?
Did your military experience influence the way you think about the military now?
Well, everybody says hurry up and wait. You know, that's just natural, and that's what you do in the military. But other than that, well, I don't know. Well, I don't know. It's just when you got a bunch of guys like that, I can understand it's a little difficult to get everything. The guys that was trying to do that, they was pretty inexperienced anyway. You know.
Did you stay in touch with anyone?
I tried to for a while, but then as time went on, why I lost touch with the ones that I was with me. They was from out in California, the ones I knew mostly. We wrote back and forth a little bit, but you know how that is. You got other things to do.
When did you go on the honor flight?
When? 14th of September last year.
2011?
2011. Yeah, I guess.
What was that experience like?
Well, I enjoyed after I got up there. Getting there and back was the thing, you know. You took the bus, then you took the plane, then you took the bus. Same thing coming home. And we got home at 12:30. We left. Well, we had to be out there at the hotel 1 o'clock in the morning. They give us a sandwich to eat. We eat that, and we took off on the bus. But I liked it after we got out there. But I can understand if people really wanted to see Washington, you'd have to stay longer than 6 hours. And I don't think we was out there longer than that.
Do you have anything else to say?
About what?
About anything?
No, nothing that pertained to anything that in the military other than I thought they ought to have done something about my ankle, but they didn't. So maybe they couldn't do that. Well, I went to the doctor, Dr. Hyde here in town. Well, he said if you go up the highway, said you come back walking like this. Well, I said I don't want to do that. I ain't doing that bad now. But it swells up every day, you know. It goes down at night. When I go to bed, it swells up. But that's just what you're gonna have to put up with. That's all.
Well, Mr. Green, I thank you for your time, and I thank you for serving our country.
Thank you. Well, you know, I was sitting in the Washington Theater. I wasn't married at that time, but I had my girlfriend with me. And they come on the screen, Japs bomb Pearl Harbor. And you could hear a pin drop in there when that happened. Because that pretty well told the story, you know. That she was going to be in the military if you was the right age and passed the physical. So that's when I went down and joined the Navy.
So you enlisted?
Yeah. Sure did. I thought, well, as long as that boat's floating, I got a place to eat and sleep. But then it turned out I was on land over there the biggest part of my time anyway. But then worked out.